Hi, YouTube friends. I'm Heidi Villegas with Healing Harvest Homestead, and I'm experimenting with Zoom. So I thought I would just pop on here really quick and um, just chat for a moment about the new year and making healthy habits. So, there's a lot going on right now out there in the world, and there's a lot we can't control. But one thing we can control is our our habits, our daily habits, our thinking, our bodies, what we decide to put into it, what we decide to do with them. And I've been doing a lot of reflecting on, me, myself, and I've realized, this. I write a lot. I sit and I write a lot. I'm a writer, as well as a homesteader and an herbalist and an aromatherapist. But I do a lot of writing at my desk, and I'm sedentary. And this is really starting to take a toll on my body. So I've decided not to set New Year's resolutions. I don't want to set New Year's resolutions because I never keep them. Do you guys keep your resolutions? I have a hard time with that. But when I set goals, especially if they're short term, like for a month or, even 2 months, um, then usually I have great success, and then they build upon each other. So there are 10 healthy habits that I'm going to be working on. And I thought I would just hop on here. I don't know if you're interested or not, but just share them with you. So I want to link these habits to preparedness too, really fast. There's a lot to be. Many of you know we're into preparedness here. We have a big food storage room, and we preserve our foods. We grow enough food for the two of us for a year at this point, and it's something that we work on in our lives in our little homestead here, and I think that's very important because, again, this goes back to we can't control what's going on out there. We can't control the supply chain or the food chain, but we can control, to an extent anyway, what we do on our own homes, in our own gardens, in our own yards even. You're just your yard. If you have a backyard, you can have a garden. Anyway, I know I'm going off on a tangent, but as far as preparedness goes, being healthy is key, because you may be tasked with doing some things physically that you need to have some physical capabilities for. And I was reflecting on this with Mr. V the other day, and I'm realizing I've let myself get out of shape, and I need to do something about it. So hence the 10 things to do to get healthy right now. So here they are, you guys. And by the way, I want to just say, like, in my past life, I was extremely fit. I worked out at the gym several times a week. I was a weightlifter. I was into fitness. Um, and it was actually one of the ways I managed my anxiety, because I struggle with anxiety, and I will not get onto the antidepressants and the anxiety medications that doctors have tried to push on me over the years. Yes, uh, not doing it. I've actually tried those, and they were really awful. And I feel for those of you who are on those and have to be, and those of you who are trying to get off and are struggling with that. I've had a few friends in that situation, and it's a process. You can do it, but possibly be sure to get medical help. I'm not saying to go off your meds. I'm not saying that at all. Um, Anyhow, for me, myself, I'm like very, very far into the natural thing. Um, so anyhow, here we go. And here's how I've managed to keep my mental health and my physical health healthy in the past, and how I'm going to get back to doing it this year. So, number one, I like to fast for a period of time every day. Now, usually, I don't eat real early. So I usually break my fast, right around 11 or 12. And then I stop eating at about 6 o'clock at night. So that's my eating window. And this is called intermittent fasting. It's one of the forms. There's several forms of intermittent fasting. And I read the IF diet, intermittent fasting diet, several years ago, and it was a game changer. But there's a lot of clinical studies done on fasting and how helpful it is for your body and your mind. And I think it's one of the ways you can help your body keep itself detoxified. So intermittent fasting, fast for a period of day, look it up. There are several ways you can do that. But it just has, it kind of tends to balance your whole endocrine system, your, detoxification processes. Your body needs a chance to rest. Your organs are working all the time. And that period of time when you're not eating is one of the ways your body can stop and repair. Your digestive processes take a lot of energy. So, number two, I like to start my day with a glass of warm water. And I try to remember to put lemon juice in it, or fire cider, or raw apple cider vinegar, and a little bit of cayenne pepper. So I like to do that. That seems to just kickstart me and jumpstart my body and gets me going during the day. It's really good for your digestive system. It's great for your bowels. It's good for your energy level, and it's wonderful for your skin. And as a person who's struggled with rosacea for many decades of my life, again, doctors putting me on antibiotics and medications for a long, long time, I try to do every single thing I can to take care of my body's detoxification processes. When your liver can't function and you're all clogged up with toxins and different, just garbage food and stuff, what happens is it erupts in your skin. Okay, your skin is one of the first signs of a problem with your liver or your overall digestion. Okay. Number three, get rid of all sugars. Now, this might seem obvious on the surface. We can just say, let's get rid of sugar. And yes, you can definitely get rid of things called sugar, or high fructose corn syrup, or glucose, or fructose, or honey, or agave syrup, which, by the way, is really bad. But the thing is that the food industry has found a number of ways, probably over 50 chemical ways to rename what's really sugar in the products you eat. So that's processed foods. In fact, if you want to get rid of sugar, get rid of processed foods. Okay? Just saying, eat whole foods. Eat that carrot that's in the vegetable aisle, or better yet, grow it yourself. But definitely get off the processed foods. Get off the sugars. The sugars of toxin. In fact, I read a study, and I think I read this from Dr. Eric Z. But he stated, or someone stated, and I think it was him, was that sugar is more addictive than cocaine. Think about that. Sugar is more addictive than cocaine, right? What does that tell you? And here we're giving it to our children. We're feeding ourselves processed foods, which that all has sugar in it. I bought a box of tomato soup from Costco. It's in the Pacific brand, so it's in a box for our food storage, not just to eat, but just to have it just in case. And I looked on the label and I was horrified to see cane sugar, second ingredient. Now, it's a good brand, it's organic, so in the realm of good to bad or whatever, it's not horrible, but it still has sugar. And I really try to avoid sugar. So that's the next one, the third one. Number four, you guys, use herbs. Use herbs and essential oils too for your health and your healing, and you're taking care of your nervous system, taking care of your brain. I'm telling you right now, when I had a few medical fails in my life. I was told my liver was shot because of overuse of antibiotics, again, due to the rosacea, because that's what doctors put people on. They put them on antibiotics for rosacea, acne. And I was told other things about blood pressure, about I had an L4, L5 problem in my back, pain issues. I had a yoga injury, but anxiety meds, depression meds, I don't take any of that. And I haven't for well over 10 years now, because herbs have healed me. Herbs have healed me. I'm telling you, you can go out in your yard or into the wild near you, wherever that is. And I guarantee you, you've got medicinal herbs growing that you can forage. Not only that, you can grow them. And if you can't and you don't want to, well, you can purchase them. You can purchase from really good companies. So knowing how to use herbs safely and skillfully and the right way can literally, you guys, I can't even tell you, it changes your life. It changes your life. It changed my life. It changed my life so radically. Honestly, I'm 57 right now. And I look back at where I was in my late 40s, and I honestly, feel so much better than I did back then. It's crazy. Anyway, so use herbs. And if you don't know how to use herbs, find a source. I'm a good source. I teach courses on it. And I have membership groups, and I have free groups, and I have an email list. Um, Herbs are kind of a passion for me, and I love teaching about them. So, but anyway, find out how to use them. Okay. You can join my Facebook group, Practical Herbs with Heidi, or better yet, you can join my free community that's off social media. It's called the Healing Harvest Natural Living Groups. And we have a whole section in there for herbal education and essential oil education, as well as other great things. So it's a wonderful group. Number 5, eat your meals without any liquids. It was funny. I wrote this article a long time ago, and my husband, Mr. V, came to me. He goes, you said that you shouldn't eat and drink at the same time, water or juice or whatever. And I told him, I said, yes, that's absolutely right. The reason is that adding liquid with your food in your stomach actually dilutes the stomach acids, and it slows down your digestion. What I like to do, because you need liquid, your body has to have liquid, is I drink lots of water throughout the day. Number one, I drink about 3/4 of a gallon minimum. But the other thing I do is I try to drink about 30 minutes before I eat. And if I'm hungry in the middle, instead of eating something, I'll drink water. And oftentimes that quenches my thirst automatically. And that's actually how I managed to get to 3/4 of a gallon a day. But anyway, drinking about 30 minutes before you eat allows your body to be flushed and rinsed. And then if you take a digestive bitter, again, herbs, a bitter helps optimize and activate your salivation glands, the digestive system, the areas that are producing the digestive enzymes and acids to digest your food. So definitely, take bitters, take herbal bitters, maybe 15 minutes or so before you eat. Drink your water a little bit, about 30 minutes before you eat. And then after you eat, wait for another 30 minutes or so before you drink a lot of liquid. You just don't, unless you're dehydrated. If you're dehydrated and you're super thirsty, well, go for it. But try to do that throughout the day. And that's another thing. I'm just going to talk about hydration for a moment. The more hydrated you are, the less tired you are. The more hydrated you are, the more motivated you are. The more hydrated you are, the better your brain works. It just, there's a huge difference when you drink enough fluids than when you don't. All right, number 6. If you drink coffee or tea, and this is something I'm not willing to give up right now, it's a plan someday. But if you drink coffee or tea, add a little bit of oil, like coconut oil or MCT oil, or even butter, like the Bulletproof coffee, or heavy whipping cream. Okay. If you go ahead and do that, what's going to happen is number one, many of these oils, the coconut oil and the MCT oil, have medium chain triglycerides, and these help with brain focus. They help with fat burning, and they help with your energy levels. So adding a little bit of oil or butter can be really helpful if you're drinking coffee in the morning, or even a high caffeine tea. That's what I found. It actually reduces the jitters a little bit too. A lot of people will tell you that coffee is not good for you, and too much is not good for you. But like anything, a little bit, it's okay. There are some actually some pretty healthy antioxidants in coffee that can be helpful to you. You just don't need, or you shouldn't drink too much of it. Number 7, get sleep. You guys, I cannot tell you how important sleep is. I can't. Um, when you're getting enough rest, and for most of us, that's about 8 hours or so. For me, it's about 9. For Mr. V, it's about 7. I need a little more sleep than he does to feel optimal. I could actually get by on 6. But what happens to me over time is when I'm getting 6 hours of sleep at night, and I've done this for years when I was in the career world, is that my immune system suffers and I get sick. It's like your body's saying, hey, it's time to get some rest, right? So get sleep, you guys. And if you have trouble sleeping, then I have some herbal blends that you can drink as a tea or a tincture. I've got them on YouTube and I've also got them on my website. I also have a really, really good essential oil blend that I created. I should put that one on YouTube. It's just really good. And I diffuse it right before we go to bed for about 30 minutes. And it just is excellent. And if you wake up in the middle of the night and have trouble going back to sleep, diffusing that essential oil is helpful too. And then I have another blend that I use on my chest that helps with anxiety. It also is really helpful at night if you have trouble going to sleep. Another thing you can do is get a Phillips sunlight clock. Those help set your circadian rhythms. So like right now, you know how it's getting dark super, super early and getting light super, super late? Well, the sunlight clock, if you have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, the sunlight clock can actually act like the sun would act. And it just helps your body stay in a normal rhythm or in a healthy rhythm. Another thing is the 5-second rule. Using the 5-second rule helps you get out of bed. So it's not really aligned with sleep, but if you know you've got a strategy to help you get up in the morning, it's good. And that one's by Mel Robbins. She wrote a whole book about it. Actually, you don't need the book. You just need to understand the premise. And I think you can find it on YouTube. Get a good nighttime routine going. Just have a set plan that happens every single night. I actually have alarms that go off. My first one goes off at 8 o'clock. Get ready for bed. Of course, I ignore that one, but I do listen to the next one. And then I get up and I say, okay, it's time to get ready for bed. And I try to be in bed by 9 because I like to wake up about 5. And then let's see here. Number 8, move. You guys, you've got to move. A nurse, one of my friends is an RN, and I was having problems with edema years ago. And she told me that the best thing you can do for edema, swelling, water retention in your ankles and your legs, is drink lots and lots and lots and lots of water and move. Walk. She goes, just walk. Go walk for an hour, go walk for 30 minutes. But walking daily, moving daily, it does a couple things. It helps you sweat, obviously, which is one of your body's detoxification systems. And it also moves lymph. And moving lymph is vital because if it gets stagnant, you're going to get sick and feel ill, and your body's going to deteriorate. So you've got to move that lymph. And if you're sitting all day, like I sit writing all day, at least right now until it's springtime, I've got to be out in the garden. Can hardly wait. Then movement is really the best thing you can do, and you have to plan it, right? Number 9, portion your foods correctly. So this is one thing I have got to work on. Mr. V and I, back when we were both working full time, we decided to try out that food delivery service called Hello Foods. And what they do is they deliver portion-sized ingredients with the recipes, and then you cook the food, and it's healthy and organic. Well, we tried this, and what happened with us was we got a shock about portion control because the meals were small and to us. And so we were looking at this going, these are normal portions. This is what we should be eating. And it was a real eye opener for us. So yes, portion control. So nowadays, what I like to do, I like the Whole30 plan. I love that book. What Melissa Hartwig says in the Whole30 is you should have protein about the size of your fist. For me, that's about 3 to 4 ounces. And then you should fill the rest of your plate with vegetables. Simple, right? And especially if you're using a small plate. So portion your foods correctly. Really look into that. Oh, and I was reading another lady online. She actually gets containers that are measured out, little bowls even, and she actually measures out like her cereal, her nuts, instead of just reaching into the nut thing and grabbing a handful of nuts or 2 or 3, like I do, then get that little quarter cup measurement and scoop out a quarter cup of nuts. You'll be surprised. That's 180 calories of nuts. And you've probably been eating about 800 if you're anything like me. All right, number 10. This is one of my favorites because it's delicious, but add fermented foods to your diet. Okay. Ferment your own foods if you can. I've got lots of recipes on my website, but add fermented foods to your diet. And I'm not talking about the ones on the store shelves. Those are dead. You want the ones, if you do buy them from the store, get the ones in the refrigerated section, the ones that say raw fermented, whatever. Kimchi's good, sauerkraut's good. They have all kinds of things now. But eat fermented foods. And if you feel up to it, and if you're gardening, or if you have extra cucumbers or extra eggplant or extra anything, ferment them. Ferment them. You can find out how on my website, Healing Harvest Homestead. And you guys, that is 10 ways, 10 things that you and I can do for this upcoming year to get healthy and to just start some new habits and some new processes. They're all easy. They just take a little bit of discipline, and discipline is good. All right, you guys, I'm going to put some links below. First one is to the Healing Harvest Natural Living Groups community. It's free for you to join, and it's a place that's no ads. It's off Facebook. There's no censorship, only for kindness. You need to be kind and respectful. And basically, it's a community for us to interact and share and grow and learn together in health and self-reliance. That's what it's all about. I hope you'll join me there. Again, it's free. I'm going to put links to my free herbal guide, my remedy guide, plus a cheat sheet. And I'm going to put a link to my free 5-day Herbal Foundations email course. It's all via email, so you can save the emails if you don't have time to get to them. And let me think. That's it. Please subscribe, and let's set some goals together this year. All right. Bye, you guys.